22nd, 2018. We're out here. I got a small little piece of property that I've been hunting. I've been baiting since early August. I've got a few deer on camera, nothing too awful big as far as bucks go, but there's a lot of does in here. But yesterday evening I actually had a bunch of does come to the bait pile, and I'll show you the bait pile real quick. Alright, you can see there, that was my corn pile. I also have a salt block out, and I've been putting out some like concentrated like deer attractants, but haven't got any bucks to come to it yet as far as me hunting here it goes. Yesterday evening I had a bunch of deer come to my corn pile, but every single one of them were does. But and I would have loved to have taken one, but I'm actually really glad that I didn't, because these particular does had fawns with them. And I mean, even though it's not illegal, I'm not the type of person to kill a mother doe that's got babies with her. So maybe I'll get me a lone doe this evening, or maybe I might get lucky and have a buck kind of pass by me and present a shot. So we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. After a while, I finally see a deer coming into the woods. I think it's a big doe at first, but after looking at it a little bit closer, I can see that it's got two small antlers coming out of its head. While this is a buck, this is not one I want to harvest. This is probably a very young deer. I estimate probably no more than a year and a half old. The young buck slowly makes his way into my corn pile, and as he gets closer, I soon see that he's not alone. There's a small doe coming behind him. I sit in my tree stand, waiting patiently and watching, and hoping that something more mature would show up. Unfortunately, these are the only two deer that I've seen this evening. And as the sun slowly sets, so does this evening of hunting. Alright everyone, we're in here on September 25th, 2018. Still sitting in here in North Carolina, and hopefully we'll have some deer come through this evening. Supposed to be a drop in temperature today, so hopefully that'll get the deer on their feet. So let's hope for the best, and hopefully we can get one. It doesn't take long, and the deer begin to move. Several sets of antlers catch my eye as they all move into the grass field that's behind me. At first, I'm only seeing more young potential deer, but as the group moves from one side of the field to the other, there are two bucks that steal my attention. The first one is a nice 8-point, but the other is a larger-bodied, wide-rack deer that, from what I can tell, has 9 points. This guy was plenty mature enough to harvest. After seeing that the deer were gradually moving my way, my hand slowly grabbed my bow. The deer were moving into the woodline, headed straight for me, and one by one, they came within my range. I set my sights on the big 9, and as all the deer came closer, I could see that he was the largest buck in the group. The deer's attention suddenly goes from eating to a loud, unpleasant noise coming from a nearby property. I had a shot at the big one, but the angle was too poor for me to be confident, and the deer leave the area, startled but not terrified. Over the course of the following week, I continue hunting when the weather and the wind allows me to, and I see a lot of deer, including a young 8-point. That was a nice deer, but I would much rather see what the deer would turn into in the future. here on October 4th, 2018, and we're still hunting the same stand in here, North Carolina. I really hope we can get it done this evening. I've been letting a lot of good deer walk. I had a pretty nice buck. It was a 9-pointer a few weeks ago. He was a really nice deer, but he was quartering to me, and about 25 yards, I just couldn't take a quartering to me shot. And I had a nice buck on the corn pile about a week ago. It was a young 8-pointer. He was a nice deer, but he was too young to shoot. I really would like to see what he would turn into. So hopefully that'll pay off next year, but God willing, we'll be able to get one this evening this year. So I hope you stay tuned. Enjoy.
I heard the familiar footsteps of leaves crunching, and as the deer came into view, I said in my head, "It's him." His attention was on my corn pile, but mine was on grabbing my bow as silently as possible. The 8-point that's with him also wanted some corn, but the big guy refused to let him have any. And until he turns broadside, I have no better shot than I did weeks before. As he finally turns his body, and as I try to make my move, he detects my movement and stares straight at me. I don't think I've ever been more motionless. After what feels like forever, the buck relaxes. Then, just as I stand the rest of the way up, he stares again. Having my bow in hand, I was ready, just waiting for my shot. After he once again relaxes, he presented his vitals, turned his head, and gave me what I needed. And just in case you didn't think I was excited, just watch this.
Alright everyone, we're here October 4th, 2018. I'm waiting on my buddy Randy to get here. I've already looked at the footage. It looked like a really nice hit on the deer. I'm really hoping for a good recovery. I've already went down and looked at the corn pile. I've already got good blood right next to the corn pile. So, God willing, it'll work out. I'm just waiting on Randy. I'm gonna get some flashlights, and we're gonna go in, and God willing, we'll find him. Stay tuned. What's up, man?
Hey, buddy.
Good to see you.
See you.
Just got here. I'm gonna go see if we can get him. Right there. See it? Looks like. Yep. Bunch of blood splattered on this tree. Right here.
Okay.
Yeah, good blood right there. Right there. Oh. What is that over there, Randy?
There's your deer.
Wait, hold on, let me get this on footage. Laying right there. Look at that. What a buck. I'll lay this on.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. So he's, look at there, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like this is the one I was after. After seeing this guy, actually got footage of this guy on the hoof, I think back in September. And this has actually been the biggest buck that I have seen hunting so far in 2018. I am so very blessed to have been able to get this deer. He's just a gorgeous buck, and being able to get footage of this deer while he's on the hoof makes it even a better experience. So super blessed right now. I'm extremely blessed. Just an awesome hunt. And I gotta say this right now on camera. Thank you to Mr. Randy Hill for allowing me to hunt on this piece of property that we have and manage the deer. I have let so many deer walk because I was after a big mature one. I even let a very nice 8-pointer that a lot of people told me they would have killed. I let them walk because I was after something a little bit better. So very thankful right now. Thank you so much.